Hey guys, it's Kaim Interviews. We are here with Frankie from Emmure.
Bounce. If you got my fucking back, then just say hell yeah. You're down with me and my team.
How's it going? And also, what's it like playing these one-offs like here at Aftershock, where the lineup's pretty diverse? Getting away from the metalcore scene.
Right, we're excited to be here. Hopefully, this is a chance to reach new people who might have never heard the band before, and I'm sure I can speak for every band here that, it's just an honor and privilege to be on such an esteemed festival. So it's really cool.
And so, Eternal Enemies tour is coming up pretty soon here. So, how did that tour come about? And I know Acacia is on it, and I mean, how did that come about? Because that's obviously there were headlines for that and whatnot with controversy. And so, how'd that come about?
We just really wanted to end the year with something that would get people's attention and would be buzzworthy. And we obviously know that us and the Acacia Strain was a hot button issue for a long time. So we kind of really wanted to, finally clear the air and all that stuff and bring out all these amazing bands who would complement what we're trying to accomplish this year, which is support this new record and just get as many people in the room as possible.
Yeah. So there were a ton of rumors going around about some fight or something. Is there any rumors that you can clear up personally from your side of the story or anything?
Well, yeah, I've told the story a few times, so I'll try to make it real quick. But it was about 5 years ago, and we had just been, feuding behind the scenes, really childishly. Hearing he said this, and this song's about this person, yada yada. And eventually it just kind of built up into this thing where it got really real for a second, and then we actually ended up getting into an actual fist fight. Whatever. Ever since then, honestly, we dropped it, and we're cool now. And anyone who still brings it up or talks about it, it's pretty much a dead issue to both of us. So it's whatever.
Yeah. So it seems like Emmure is consistently in headlines for sort of negative things sometimes, and I really don't see why, I guess. And I wonder, do you think it's because you're misunderstood at all, or do you think it's just because media likes talking crap? I know Metal Injection kind of has a feud with you, so.
No, you know what it is, man. I just think that our band is very polarizing for a lot of reasons. We kind of are the antithesis for the entire genre. I feel we kind of just don't fit any certain mold or look or sound to appease anybody, and I think that's what rubs people the wrong way. And when you're out there on the limb, you're gonna always put yourself in that zone to get attacked for something. So we're just kind of we kind of make it easy for people to have an opinion or to lash out at us. But to me, it's if we didn't have that like I said, polarizing element to our band, we wouldn't have the career we have, because people are either genuinely dedicated to us or they completely hate us to the core. So both those things really feed the machine that are Emmure, and I don't think we would even be able to survive without it. So
yeah. So I know a lot of you guys' lyrics kind of push the line and whatnot, and so I heard in a past interview from you that you talked about how you use music as an outlet to refrain from doing these outlandish things shooting up a school or whatever. And I think that's an interesting point. So do you think that music lyrically, do you think that it's impossible to kind of push any boundaries? Do you think anything is free game?
I think that art is art and music is music, and both those things are under an umbrella called entertainment. There's plenty of games and books and things that are made that are ultra violent, that show just in crazy things. And I've seen the Human Centipede, you know what I'm saying? I'm living in the same world as everyone else, but the reason those things exist is because without that creative realm, all you would have is people who are sitting there with these pent-up feelings and emotions, and that's completely unhealthy. And so for me, music is just the only place I feel free to actually feel and say what I need to do, and without any kind of real negative consequences. Like I said, it's music again is a place for me to get those feelings out, and without music as a young kid, I don't think I would even still be here, without that outlet, because to even hear someone feel the same way I feel, so I just think that people like to sensationalize things and attack anything and look for a scapegoat, because no one ever wants to take the blame for the things they do and things they feel. They're always trying to fucking point the finger somewhere else. So that's really all I have to say about it. I really, I guess, don't understand anymore what the moral compass is for other people to be so holier than thou. There's plenty of bands I loved growing up that had disgusting lyrics, song titles, and album artwork I never slit anyone's throat. I never, you know, Dying Fetus wrote a song called "Kill Your Mother, Rape Your Dog." I never killed my mother or raped my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people are always looking for a scapegoat against, and you know, I just think that to stifle or to try to keep someone from expressing themselves the way they feel is a complete negative. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of brings up an interesting question. You know, I guess politically, I kind of want to I'm just curious, what do you think of like gun control and whatnot? Do you think the guns should be banned, or do you think people should have the freedom? Because
I don't honestly, I don't care much for politics, period. But if you're asking my opinion on gun laws, I think that the people who have guns, I guess, need them, and the people who don't need them. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't need a gun. I'm not worried about anyone rolling up on me and putting a gun in my fucking face. So, you know, I really can't say much about the topic, man, because again, like I said, I think that guns breed violence. The fact that they exist is a reason why we need them. It's just like this weird conundrum or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so on to a lighter note. You did a track with Riff Raff recently.
Yeah.
So how'd that come about, and what's it like seeing his recent success within pop culture?
I mean, I'm a big Riff Raff fan, and that's how it all started. Was I got kind of, you know, his people kind of reached out to me and were like, "Hey, are you a fan?" I'm like, "Of course." Like, "Would you want to be on a track?" I was like, "Definitely." And I mean, me and him didn't personally work together, but you know, I worked with like all the people at Mad Decent who, you know, did the remix with me and put me on the track, and it was a cool experience. I mean, I don't know, I don't ever want to like limit myself to any one certain thing, and if I can branch out and do more things creatively, then I'm all about it. And that to me is what it's all about, man. It's just kind of like living it up and doing what you want to do while you still can. Your time here on Earth is like really, really short. I think people forget that, you know. So I don't know. It was a cool experience, and hopefully more stuff comes from it.
Yeah. So I know that you're from New York, and so obviously hip hop is a breeding ground over there. So what other rappers do you respect and listen to? And if you could have like a rapper collab on an Emmure song, who would you choose?
I don't know. Like I'm big into like nonfiction, Waka Flocka, Chief Keef, Kanye West, Antwoord. Stitches is probably my favorite right now. That dude's really, really killing it. His mixtape's ridiculous. So maybe someone like that would be great, because he's just a really fresh face and fresh voice, and I'm a huge fan of his work. So.
All right. So lastly, where's Emmure headed after this one-off festival?
We're actually not on tour right now. We're just kind of like sitting in between what we were doing all summer and the headline tour we just discussed before. So we're just gonna go and kick it. I'll be living up in Cali, so catch me in the swimming pool.
All right, awesome. All right, well, thank you so much for having us.
No problem.
And this is Kime Interview signing out. Take it easy.